All right, in this video, we're going to kind of go through the same motion, but we're going to go and be searching for vacant properties. Vacant properties are great properties to go after and market to. The homeowners, obviously they either were renting it, don't have a renter anymore, or they moved out and kind of have been sitting on it. You never know what type of situation they are, but those are the type of owners that always are usually in a good chance that they're probably ready to sell at soon or at some point here in the future. Those are the type of properties a lot of investors go after. And it can be a great opportunity for a realtor to go after because you can present that, either list it for them or present it to an investor if it's one of those properties, and be able to represent both the investor and the seller as it with a listing. And then of course try to get the relist if they do flip it when the investor buys it. So I'm in La Mesa. We're going to go through the same motion, just kind of show you all the different types of filtering, just so you have it implement in your head and the different options that you're able to take to find some hot homeowners that could turn into future listings. So let's go ahead and use our pencil tool. And I'm just going to go between La Mesa Boulevard and Spring Street between the 125. So let's say we have an open house or a new listing in this area. Go ahead and hit enter. And then we're going to go through the motion of our filtering. So again, we're going after vacant. So with owner occupied, just go ahead and leave it as any. Property characteristics, we want to go after single family and condos. MLS status, we want to make sure that it's off market. Foreclosure status, remember to put that as none. And then ownership info, don't forget, like I said, by default we'll put any, but we don't want to go after corporate owned properties, so let's just go after individual. And then from here, under ownership info, there'll be the checkbox for vacant. Click on vacant properties. Let's go ahead and apply that. So we got 12 right off the bat. Now again, one thing you have to remember is we didn't put when the last sell date was or how long they've owned it. And so right off the bat, you can tell over here, it'll tell you the sell date. So we can see there's some recent sale dates within this last year. So, they might have bought it as an investment property, or they could be out of state and they just purchased it to be able to move into it. So let's not go after recent bought properties because they might not be ready to sell again. So with ownership info, for years of ownership, let's just go ahead and put a minimum of 2. So right there, we got 7 properties. Now these could be great properties. We can go ahead and just remember, click on the box. You can do it as a save search so that you can come back to this search if you want to find if any new properties hit that criteria, or we add it to a list so that we can then skip trace it, get the information, and deploy our marketing. If you want, you can also click on the properties and manually filter through to see if you want to save some or delete some as well. So, if you ever want to play or get, of course, like I said, more granular, you can then play with the equity, how much equity they have, the value trend. If you want to go after, if there's maybe out of state owners that are vacant, which there's one. So this homeowner right here, even though the property is vacant, and he's also the owner is out of state. So this could be a good one. The last sell date was back in 2008. Now we can see it is free and clear because the estimated value and the estimated equity. So he could be an investor. Maybe he's having a hard time finding a tenant because if it is vacant, we get their vacant property from the post office. So obviously someone hasn't lived there for a very long time for the post office to mark it as a vacant property. So this guy could have owned it for a very long time. He might be tired or just struggling to find a tenant for this property. So this could be a good person to, cold call, send a handwritten letter to, or whatever type of marketing you want, or keep it in your CRM to stay in touch every so often because, at some point they might be ready to sell because they might be tired. A lot of people are tired. At a certain point, they get tired of dealing with rental properties in other states. So that's how we kind of find vacant properties and a good way to search it. So in the next video, we're kind of search and do some filtering to find more high equity properties within an area.